Is the Boston Celtics' path to the NBA Finals about to get a whole lot easier? Rumors are swirling that a certain all-star is eyeing an exit from South Beach, and while he hasn't formally requested a trade, the writing seems to be on the wall. Imagine if the Celtics don't have to face this formidable rival in the playoffs. Stick around as we break down what this could mean for our chances this season. And if you want to stay in the loop with all things Celtics, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. As we dive into the latest buzz around the Boston Celtics, there's some significant news regarding Jimmy Butler that could potentially change the landscape of the Eastern Conference. According to Shams Charania from ESPN, Butler is believed to be open to a trade out of Miami, and while he hasn't officially requested one, the vibes suggest he's ready for a new chapter. This certainly puts a spotlight on the Celtics and their path toward the playoffs. Now, let's break this down. Butler, entering the final year of his contract, has $49 million left on the table and plans to opt out, regardless of where he ends up. It's a complicated situation, and if he does indeed get traded, it could be a clear signal from Pat Riley that the Heat are not viewing themselves as serious title contenders this season. That's a significant shift, considering how competitive Miami has been in recent years. But here's where it gets interesting for us Celtics fans. The teams Butler has expressed interest in trading to, namely the Phoenix Suns, Golden State Warriors, Dallas Mavericks, and Houston Rockets, are all in the Western Conference. This is good news for Boston, as it potentially removes Butler as a threat in the playoffs. Imagine facing off against him in the finals instead of the East. That could shift the odds in our favor significantly. Butler may be slowing down, entering his 14th NBA season, but he's still a proven playoff performer. His experience and skill could be a game-changer for any team looking to make a deep playoff run. So, if Miami pulls the trigger on a trade, it could reshape the entire playoff picture. The Celtics, while not guaranteed a final spot, would certainly prefer to face Butler as a Western Conference opponent rather than an Eastern rival. Now, let's talk about the implications for the Celtics. Health has always been a concern for this team, and with Joe Mazzulla at the helm, maintaining consistency is key. The early season struggles we've seen can't bleed into the postseason. If we're able to avoid facing a fully armed Jimmy Butler in the East, that alleviates a lot of pressure.
But we can't overlook the fact that any trade for Butler could yield significant returns for Miami, and we have to be prepared for whatever comes next. You might be wondering, is this the right path for the Celtics? Personally, I'm a bit torn. On one hand, the prospect of facing Butler in the finals sounds preferable, but on the other, we can't ignore how dangerous he can be, even in his later years. His competitive spirit is unmatched, and he can turn a game on its head with his performances. And speaking of performances, let's not forget how critical every decision is at this juncture of the season. The Celtics must focus on their chemistry, learning from past mistakes, and ensuring that they can contend at the highest level. If Butler indeed moves out of the East, it could mean fewer obstacles on our road to the championship. But we can't let our guard down. We need to stay sharp and ready for any challenge that comes our way. So, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about the possibility of Jimmy Butler leaving the Heat? Is this a win for the Celtics, or do you believe it opens up a different set of challenges? Let's get a discussion going in the comments. Your thoughts and frustrations are always welcome. We all know the Celtics are in a solid position right now, sitting second in the Eastern Conference, and we've got a core that's largely unchanged from the squad that brought home the championship last year. But here's the catch. Kristaps Porzingis has only played 10 games this season. That's right. Injuries have kept him sidelined. And while our starting five is elite when healthy, we've seen how quickly things can go south without them working in unison. So, what's the solution? Well, there's talk about bringing back Daniel Theis, a familiar face who could provide the depth we sorely need, especially as we navigate the ups and downs of the season. The trade would see the Celtics sending Baylor Shireman and a 2025 second-round draft pick to the Pelicans in exchange for Theis. Now, let's break this down. The Pelicans are struggling, the second-worst team in the league right now, with a dismal .525 record. They're in full-on rebuild mode, and acquiring a young player like Shireman along with a draft pick could be a step in the right direction for them. For us, Theis is a player who knows the Celtics system inside and out. He's versatile, capable of spacing the floor with his three-point shooting, and he brings solid defensive skills to the table.
Imagine him coming off the bench, providing the extra support we need if Porzingis' injury problems continue. It's a low-cost move that could have a significant impact on our depth chart as we push towards the playoffs. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this, Celtics Nation. Do you think bringing back Theis is the right move? Personally, I'm a bit divided. While I love the idea of adding a player who fits our style and knows what it means to wear that green jersey, I can't help but wonder if we could find a more impactful player out there. But then again, a familiar face like Theis could return that spark we need when things get tough. This decision could play a crucial role in our playoff run. Depth isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity in the NBA, especially during crunch time when injuries hit hard. The last thing we want is to be scrambling for assets when we need reliable players on the court. Having Theis back in the mix could provide the stability we need. And let's be honest, he's got that grit and determination that embodies the Celtics spirit. Let's think about the long-term implications as well. If we can secure Theis without sacrificing too much of our future, it could position us better for the playoffs. We're aiming for another championship, and every move counts. Adding a player of Theis' caliber to our roster could make a world of difference in tight games, especially when we need that extra push in the front court. And here's the thing, fans. We need to stay engaged with these discussions. What do you think? Is this trade worth it? Should we be looking at other options? I want to hear your opinions and your frustrations, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have that conversation and see where everybody stands on this potential move. As always, if you're enjoying the content and want to stay updated on all things Celtics, make sure to like this video, share it with your fellow fans, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that bell so you never miss an update. There's a lot of excitement surrounding this team right now, and we'll be here to cover every twist and turn as we chase another title. Let's keep that Celtics pride alive and thriving.